Hello everybody, it's your man Slayer here, and today we're doing a build that Charlie suggested. That I make as a bare bones type of a thing. Come on. Work, dang it. So, one thing I may have messed up on with the light armor perk that gives my unarmed strikes an effect is I may have accidentally chosen poison damage instead of an elemental damage, but it's still fairly effective even for things like saber cats, because literally all it took was one punch and it's over. And it doesn't really matter how recklessly you play, because with this modded build there is a perk called Wheel of Life, which will actually give you a healing benefit every 30 seconds. If you haven't used a healing potion within those 30 seconds. So, if you want to just use that, you can. That gives you quite a bit of protection. And actually, let me show you guys the perks I have. Character's level 53. In Restoration, we have 2 of 2 for the Restoration Mastery. We have Descending Light. We have Hallowed Burial, 2 of 2. Vigilant. Forbidden Sanctuary. Bastion Ward. Mage Ward. Edgewalker. Necromanticon. And Chalice of Tears. We also have Overflowing Cup and this Wheel of Life, which in combat grants periodic bursts of healing for 100 points every 30 seconds, becoming affected by a different healing spell or effects restarts the cycle from the beginning. Grants energy stretch / strength, leech, nature's balance, and decompose spell, which you don't necessarily need to use, but those are helpful restoration perks. For alteration, we have 2 of 2 for Alteration Mastery, 3 of 3 for Mage Armor, Spell Blade, Energy Royal, and Rend Resistances. One-handed, in case you need one-handed early in the game, we've got One-Handed Mastery, 2 of 2, Furious Strength, Clash of Champions, 3 of 3, and Disciplined Fighter. The reason we really went for those is to really maximize our damage potential with swords specifically early on in the game, and you don't need to go up here to like cross cut or anything, but these are just basics to help you survive. Light armor, we have light armor mastery, 2 of 2, light armor fit, iron fist, 3 of 3, as a leaf, keen senses, initiative, 2 of 2, unhindered, which is great because now your light armor doesn't weigh anything and it doesn't slow you down at all. Into the maelstrom, so that basically helps if you're fighting a whole ton of mobs all at once. We have sweeping wind. Unarmed power attacks do 25% more damage. Additionally, if your movement speed is increased, they do 2% damage per 1% movement speed. Requires 2 free hands. We have Rushing Tide. Unarmed attacks grant 10% increased stamina regeneration and 5% movement speed for 8 seconds. This effect stacks. Requires 2 free hands. We have Hissing Dragon. You may choose a damage type: fire, frost, shock, poison, disease, or sun. I went with poison, but to really make use of the destruction perks we had, I really should have went with the fire damage type, because that would have amplified things more. Unarmed attacks unleash a shockwave that deals the chosen damage type to all targets in front of you. It requires 2 free hands, and it does not activate while sneaking. And finally, we have Breaking Waves, which unarmed attacks have a 15% chance of a critical strike that deals critical damage equal to 40% of your current stamina. If you are affected by War Dancer, every hit is a critical strike. Requires 2 free hands. So I tried to do the most beneficial for a light armor character. But later on, for this build, Charlie wanted to test out the unarmed fighting, so I decided to invest in some perks that would help with the unarmed fighting. Don't worry that my archery and my sneak are at 100, because those aren't necessary skills for you to work on. But if you want to expand on that, you certainly can. My alchemy is also at 100. Not an essential skill for this build. Destruction. We have Destruction Mastery, 2 of 2. Raw Power, 3 of 3. So that's basically destruction spells that do not deal fire, frost, or shock damage are 30% more powerful, and that helps us with versatility. And also Combustion, 2 of 2, which makes fire spells and effects cast on others up to 30% more powerful based on the target's missing health percentage. and it also grants the Fireball and Bolide spells. So, really the only things we have that we are actually working on for this build are light armor, one-handed, because in this game, if you don't have a weapon early on in the game, or unless you're powerful enough, you are royally up a creek. Alteration, restoration, and destruction. So, light armor is really what we went into the most. Obviously, trying a light armor, kind of like a pugilist build. I don't know what to really call this build, but watch this. This is the ritual stone. Come on, dang it. So, I mean, later on with this build, you don't really even need healing potions, because because of that. Wheel of Life perk, which the only absolutely essential mod that you need for this is Ordinator perk overhaul. You can use Apocalypse magic and Odin magic if you wanted to really give yourself an edge on certain things, but you don't really have to. It's not necessarily a necessity. But if you really think about it, to be honest, with this build, Odin and Apocalypse magic will help you out a lot, because with that, see how I'm wearing all light armor, but my perks actually grant spells. So it's really an interesting way to end up getting spells if you have Apocalypse and Odin magic overhauls. But it's really not required. You can just play with Ordinator. If you use Odin and Apocalypse together, you will want a mod that makes your Ordinator perks give you your Odin and Apocalypse spells, because number one, that's a real quick and easy way to get spells that are useful to you, and really this build is very versatile for being as bare as it is. I mean, it's definitely an interesting build. I don't know how far you could go in the game with this yet, but this is an interesting build to try. Basically seeing how far you can go and how tough you are. I know that the person who requested this video has Anniversary Edition, so they have more content in their game than I do. But if you have Special Edition and you want to do like a pugilist type of build using this framework, you can go to Riften in the Ratways and grab the gloves of the pugilist to help you out. So anyway, with that, I am going to end this video here, and I will see you guys in the next one. This is Slayer signing off. Peace.